Memorial Day is a key moment to start thinking about testing sale creative, sale structure to kind of ramp up into Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Anybody can say, look, this stuff is currently cheaper than it usually is, and people will most likely buy it, and you can say that that is a successful promo. But in my opinion, that's not really a successful promo. Like, did you learn anything? Did you find new styles? Have you attempted a new promo structure? Like, there's so much more you can do that's a bit more nuanced when you're actually prepared. I really love I love working with Pilot House because while we are a performance marketing agency, we really pride ourselves on caring so much about brand and creative. At Pilot House, we don't just make ads, we craft them. Every edit, every word, every scroll-stopping detail is built with purpose and care, and I truly believe that care drives creativity and creativity drives results. Our attention to both scale and brand allows us to craft strategies that deliver you short-term results while making you long-term successful, which is so important for any DTC brand. If you are curious about learning more about working with Pilot House, you can fill out a lead form at pilothouse.co and let them know you want to go on a brand new ad venture. You don't actually have to say that. You don't have to make a pun. I'm not going to force you to make a pun. Just fill out the lead form. We'd love to chat with you. Hi, welcome back to Adventurous, a podcast produced by DTC and hosted by me, Aves. Today I wanted to do sort of a mini episode for you guys that's super tactical, really practical, and all about planning and producing content for Memorial Day weekend. I'll actually kick it off by telling you guys I have been rewatching Arrested Development, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I think it's so funny. I won't get into it because I could talk about Arrested Development for days, but I was rewatching this scene where Tobias Funke, which is also such a funny, perfect name for his character, he's auditioning for a commercial that's promoting a fire sale, and he does like the craziest line read of all time. He like really hits the fire as if he's alerting people that there is a fire, like he's screaming, rolling around on the ground, shouting that there's a fire, and then just like softly mentions sale, like he's obviously misinterpreted the line. It's really stupid and really attention grabbing, which are two really big check marks for me when I'm thinking about sale creative. I feel like that guy who plays Tobias, I mean, he's already very successful, could genuinely make a lot of money just doing that line read for different brands. That's how funny it is. And I feel like I've been thinking a lot about how to stand out like Tobias Funke lately because it is getting harder and harder these days to actually make a splash with sale creative. I think that because of advertisers like Temu or Shein, there has been millions of ad dollars spent on these big discount brands. So people are getting less reactionary to ads that really call out price or sale because every third ad they see is a Temu ad that's like, shop like a billionaire or whatever their catchphrase is. So it's really interesting because folks are correctly speculating that brands like that are probably pulling back a little bit with tariffs on ad spend, but that doesn't really negate the impact of years of heavy discount messaging being very present on everyone's FYPs. So exciting. We're talking about Memorial Day, how to kind of break through that. I think that Memorial Day is a really special time in the e-commerce world because we all kind of wake up. I mean, I've been awake for the past couple of quarters post Q4, but I feel like we kind of lock in a little bit. It's an interesting time because we shift into more summer seasonality. So if you have summer focused outdoor products, it's a really important weekend for you. But I think it also really sets the tone for sort of the general CPG or kind of basic beauty lifestyle brand. It sets the tone for what your summer is really going to look like. So setting yourself up for a really strong Memorial Day showing, very important. Trigger warning, I am going to talk about Q4. I think that Memorial Day is a really key moment to start thinking about testing sale creative, sale structure, to kind of ramp up into Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We did a couple of webinars and different workshops and stuff like that last year around Q4. And I can remember talking to people who were only then, and this was in like September, October, just in those moments, starting to think about what their sale was going to be for Black Friday, which is someone who is very proudly massive type A personality. That really freaked me out. Don't do that. Use, especially Memorial Day, because it is like a shopping moment, it's a sale moment. Use this upcoming Memorial Day and future Memorial Days to really test what you're going to be doing in those key periods later in the year. So I'll start talking about planning first, because you can't do anything unless you plan for it, in my opinion. And so when I and the team at Pilot House, when we start thinking about planning for a sale, we kind of start with the basics, like when is it happening? Also, what is happening and why is it happening are kind of the three big questions that we ask our clients and ourselves in order to really effectively plan a promo that is going to make money and also help you in the long term. I think that anybody can say, look, this stuff is currently cheaper than it usually is, and people will most likely buy it, and you can say that that is a successful promo. But in my opinion, that's not really a successful promo. Like, did you learn anything? Did you find new styles? Have you attempted a new promo structure? Like, there's so much more you can do that's a bit more nuanced when you're actually prepared for a sale. So going through those kind of three main points, when is it happening, what is happening, why is it happening? Starting with the why, I think makes the most sense. Why are you running this promo is a question that I don't think a lot of people actually ask themselves when they start thinking about kind of shopping moment in the year, like Memorial Day weekend. So think about like, what are your actual growth goals for the year? Are you looking to boost your AOV? Are you simply just looking to generate more rev? Like, what is the actual goal of the business for the year and also for the promo? The why is so important. I often talk to people about the difference between optimizing and maximizing. When you're optimizing, think of that as running a cross-country race. You want to go as fast as you can for the longest amount of time possible. So your max isn't actually going to be the quickest you can move your body. It's going to take into account how long you actually have to be moving your body. Whereas maximizing is like a 100-meter sprint. You just want to go as fast as you can, absolutely max out what you can do in that short period of time. So I often frame talking about the why of a sale through, are we looking to optimize? So are we looking to protect EBITDA in this moment? I know with supply chain concerns, it's a bit of a different sale period. We might not be looking to just sell out top sellers at this moment. So are we looking to be conservative? Are we looking to set ourselves up for a bit of growth, but not too much? Or are we kind of all set? We can do another product order and we want to really blow the roof off of this thing. So really, especially this year, think about, am I looking to optimize or maximize my business during this sale period? Next type of question that we ask ourselves is what? Pretty simple. What is the sale? Like, what are the details? What is the offer structure? I love offer structure. Probably do a separate episode on just different offer structures. But like I mentioned, trigger warning again, Memorial Day is my favorite time to test a different offer structure compared to what a brand usually does, because it's not super high intent, but it's also not dead. So you're going to actually get some real learnings and some real results. A couple quick different ways to form a sale is like, are we doing a tiered offer, percentage, or dollar amount off of a spend threshold? Is it just a straight up site-wide, only on certain products? Are we going to do like a gift with purchase? Like, what are the actual details? Starting with the why is really helpful in plotting out the what. So once you know what your goal is, it's a way easier to fill in the blanks and figure out what the sale details are from a actual dollars and cents point of view to help you reach those goals. And then the last point there, just the when, like what is the duration of the sale? I meet a lot of people in the sort of performance marketing, e-com brand space where it's like, we'll just turn it on and then we'll see what happens. And I hate that. Stop doing that. It's really good to come in with a solid plan, figure out what is the duration so that you know where are the early access points. A nice little tip is that paid channel specific early access for sales goes dummy. I love doing that. A secret code, the promo isn't live on the site yet. Make the creative super duper simple. Put the code in the ad creative, put it in the ad copy, and let people kind of get this like, if you know, secret first access through paid. That tends to generate quite a bit of interest in rev. So knowing your early access dates and points, actually really helpful. And then regular sale content, if you are running a sale for 3 days versus a week and a half versus 2 weeks, your content needs are going to be very different. So that's why I really hate when people just turn on a sale and see how it goes, and that's their attack on life. I think that knowing how long the sale is going to be exactly also allows you to just have a really nice flow of regular sale content entering the account sort of at all times. Again, another Black Friday trigger warning. Last year around Black Friday, me and my team I was producing ads and they were launching ads every day for like 2 weeks. It was really fun and also, now that I think about it, really exhausting, but I was like constantly editing new reels, I was editing new statics because you find winners quicker during a sale. It's pretty simple. It does depend on your spend threshold, obviously, but if you're spending quite a bit, people are going to be interested in those ads. So you see what works and what doesn't work. And also you start to see what people are purchasing. Usually sales start to bring in more first-time customers. You're going to have a different idea of what you actually want to promote. You might sell out of things. So having that flow and giving yourself the freedom to, experiment as the sale is live, but also have sort of benchmarks to say, okay, when we first launch, we're going to have this amount of content, and then we're going to do some of the more fringe contrasting styles like a couple of days after that, really measuring how much you need based on the full shebang rather than just making a couple statics and videos based off of top performers and slamming them into the account. I hate that. I don't think it's the way to win. I think you have to be a little bit more agile. So knowing exactly how long your sale is going to be allows you to take advantage of that and do that work both during the sale, but also before to prep. So you've always got that really nice flow of net new stuff coming in. Another big bonus of answering when and knowing exactly what your sale period is last chance messaging. Last chance messaging is great when you're honest about it. I really am not a fan of brands constantly extending sales. I think that you start training your audience and your customer base to expect that. I do think it's good to get sales live on paid social platforms that call out the end date, especially as it nears. Don't like slap the end date on ads that are launching right away if your sale's like 2 weeks, because then people are going to know and they're going to sit around and wait. But once you get into those last few days, really pushing that angle, really, really helpful. I also think knowing when your last chance ads are going live and when the sale is actually ending creates a really fun opportunity to extend the sale for email subscribers only or something like that, which is always, in my experience, super effective. So if you kind of look at all the things I just said holistically, the like best case scenario for me where I see the most results is early access. We give people a specific code on paid for early access, regular sale content flowing throughout the entire sale, keeping up to date, finding new winners, iterating on them, getting stronger the entire sale period. And then finally, last chance ads, and then an extension for email subscribers, or you can also run it to like repeat purchasers on paid social platforms. That's fine too. I think that a great way to do it, again, is a unique code that people are using because it feels a bit more like it's actually realistic and only for a certain group of people, when you see an ad that's like exclusive, just for you, extended today only, and then you go on the site and it's everywhere, people are a lot more hip to that trip nowadays. So I think adding in those codes, it's a great way to measure how things actually performed and see who used those codes, but also it just makes it feel a little bit more authentic. And I think it helps kind of protect the brand as you move along as well. Also, I want to talk about when we think about planning for a promo, what is the angle for the entire sale? I know when we talk about Black Friday, it's like obviously there's a very clear angle there, and Memorial Day is a little bit unique in that we can develop a more seasonal approach. And so I think that having an actual angle to your sale periods is really helpful for your brand in the long run, and it helps differentiate who you are compared to just a discount heavy brand with always on sale ads. So before you dive into making your creative, really center what the secondary messaging is going to be. I say secondary because obviously the prime messaging you want to lead with is this thing is cheaper than it usually is, so you should buy right now. But really figuring out what is that secondary angle and how can we build a brand story through this sale. I do think that a lot of the times when we run sales, we see a lot of new traffic coming in from paid socials because people just tend to be a little bit more liberal with the click when you've got your strong sale creative. So I think also taking it as an opportunity to introduce the brand and be a little bit playful is a really good way to go about it and a really good strategy to just help make your brand stronger instead of bringing in all these new customers and all they know is like you're selling a coffee cup and it's on sale and that's it. Really adding in as much as you can in the creative to make it feel like a branded experience. Something else I love, and I think I've talked about before, is sale colors. Training an audience to know visually very quickly that your brand is on sale. I've done it in the past. Incredible. Love it. A great feat every time it works. I really do love doing this with brands, especially ones that are very recognizable and already take up a lot of market space. Red, boring. Everyone's done it. You can stay away from like red and white and black. I do think something that sits uniquely kind of outside of your exact color palette, but still fits in with your brand identity and story is a great way to go. Things that are really bright and contrasting work really well. If you think about assigning sale colors to your brand, something that's going to pop is what you want to do. So things that are a little bit more out there, if you're a very muted brand, will get people's attention and definitely have them like looking at the actual ad. Moving into some of the more production heavy points I have, I wanted to highlight a couple of styles that I personally really, really love for sales. And yeah, almost always for brands and working and sort of mentoring some of our other content strategists, always recommend these styles because they just work and they're great for sales and they're great to be repurposed. So the first style I wanted to chat about is text-only ads. I really, 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 really love text-only ads because I love ad copy so much and I love writing copy. And I think that text-only ads are a really fun way sometimes to get really creative. People get kind of numb to actual ad copy. So having an opportunity to really shine within creative copy is always a good thing by me. I think that text-only ads are a great way to get cheeky and be really branded as well. I've been seeing, and I've done these myself, a lot of these kind of pretend we're shutting down ads. So like, it's goodbye as the headline in the creative, and then kind of saying like, we're saying goodbye to some of our top styles because you guys are all going to buy them. Really fun, really easy to execute as well, the text-only ads. I also really love a theme, as I mentioned. I love an angle for a sale. So text-only ads really help you kind of carve out that angle a little bit more. And like I said previously, you really can create a branded experience through sale, which is when you start printing money, when things start scaling. You love to see it. Another kind of variation of the text-only ad that I see quite a bit, and I do quite a bit, is like repeating text. It's super easy. You're just writing sale, sale, sale over and over again, or the actual promo details. But this is another one that just cuts up the feed very nicely. And if you are a brand that's quite obvious what you sell, this is a really good opportunity to just let people know what's going on, that it's a sale. Add a couple little fun elements. Something that I've been experimenting with and seeing a lot of success in is taking my text-only ads and turning them into what I call text-focused ads, which is just me adding teeny tiny little product renders to the text elements. So just sneaking in the actual product for brands that are a little bit smaller and people might need to see what they're actually cooking on. But lots of brands do run these text-only styles nowadays. I think it's about trying to figure out, like I said, what is that angle? How do you differentiate yourself? And how do you really hook people? A great tip too is making your kind of headline a lot larger and a lot hookier to really pull people in. You don't want to just put a paragraph of text on someone's feed. Nobody wants to see that. But really think about like what will they actually see first, and then put all the fun, maybe details in the other parts of the text-only ad. Next one, classic, just plain lifestyle overlays. Simple, stunning, super effective. I think that what makes a good lifestyle overlay, in my experience, is having good photography that supports it. I've worked with brands to help them get this photography once we started noticing like these styles really work. And something that I do see a lot of brands not do is take into consideration how their photography will look as an ad, which I think is one of my favorite parts about working at Pilot House. We have a fully functioning studio, so we can take these product images and already know how we want them to look as an ad, which is really cool. But I think a big tip, if you're looking to revamp your photography and you want to get stuff that's going to play a little bit friendlier when you actually make it into ads, negative space is like your best friend. Really think about the framing of the products, where you would put text when you're shooting static lifestyle shots. And another good tip is just feature multiple products from your line. This is really helpful when we're prepping for site-wide sales or even just more general facing ads, especially in the top funnel. So really think about the composition of those images and really think about how they will actually look as ads, because I see a lot of brands who have the most beautiful stylized photography and it is so ass to make it into an actual ad that performs. It's stunning on PDPs, it looks great on their Insta feed, but it doesn't work as an ad. So lifestyle overlays are really important in your portfolio of sale content, but just make sure you've got the right photography to do it. Product focused is another type of ad that I love. Just sort of big, bold text with a product render. Never did anyone any wrong. I would say lean into those sale colors if you have them here. We've got a couple different styles that we love to use at Pilot House, but I would say the most important thing is to bring attention to the actual product and also have very simple, easy to read ad copy associated with it. I think that product focused, so just like render on a background, these type of ads are really good when you're doing like a last chance sale ends tomorrow, because it makes both the product itself, especially if you're like a top seller, these are really good, makes the product itself really pop, but it also gives a lot of space to the ad copy as well, which is great. The last one, and I think this is the most important, so I don't know why I put it last, don't forget about stories and reels, okay? I see a lot of people prep a lot of static content for sales. Short form video is where it's at. I love short form videos. I think I've done like separate podcasts just about making good short form reel content, but do not forget about your reels. My easiest go-to tip is just take some engaging B-roll that you have and slap some basic sale copy over top of it. That is like minimal planning. Anyone can do it. You can literally like do it in CapCut in 10 minutes. It's so silly to me when people don't make sale content specifically for reels, and don't just like upload your branded nice lifestyle overlays in a 9x16. That drives me nuts too. Make it content that people actually want to see on reels. So when I'm saying engaging B-roll, I mean things that feel organic, they feel fun, they feel branded. Some of my most successful sale ads have definitely been really unhinged pieces of short form video and then really punny pieces of copy over top of them. I think it just cuts things up a little bit for people. And like I said, it engages with people in a different way than just telling them like these things are on sale. I'm not telling you that saying these things are on sale doesn't work. I'm just saying if you're serious about scaling and you're serious about growing throughout a sale, making content that people actually want to see is not going to hurt that process or that plan. So please, 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 please do not forget about short form videos. Do not forget about Reels this Memorial Day. They are so key to having a truly successful sale period. That was just kind of the tip of the iceberg in terms of sale tips and tricks. It turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought it would be. Probably could have talked about Tobias Funke less, but also Tobias Funke representation is important to me personally. I do think, like I said, Memorial Day, on a more serious note, is an incredible opportunity to start testing things for Black Friday. You don't want to be caught like those people I was talking about, September, October. You're just starting to test different promo structures, different promo ads at that point in time. You want to start now so that you can build up towards like Halloween sales, back to school sales, whatever's coming up. You want to start today, tomorrow, planning for eventually Black Friday. That sounds very alarmist, but that is just what you have to do if you want to be successful. So don't shoot the messenger, I guess. And also, it's fun to get creative and try new things for sales. So don't discount Memorial Day. Really make it happen. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if it was and if you guys have any questions. And please don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Music. I sometimes almost say Shopify or Apple Music as a little insider tip. That tells you how much time I'm spending in Shopify every day. I've got Shopify in the brain. But anyway, yeah, please remember to subscribe and review wherever you listen to your podcast, and I'll talk to you guys next time.